Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. It's your coach here, Coach's Call on tap. This is your weekly Chalk Talk. Today, we're going to talk a little college basketball. I got Kyle over there in Pennsylvania, and I got the two Tennessee boys. I got old Donnie Betts and a new face in town. We got Chris. Chris, welcome aboard. Thank you for being here, man. We're going to talk a little college basketball, see what y'all are looking at, who's hot, who's not. Really, the main thing is that what I want to do is I want you guys to win me some fucking money. That's the big thing here. I don't know. I'm still looking. I got one national championship game to go. We're gonna bet that, and then we've got NFL. So I'm knee deep in all that. But basketball's hot. Everybody's getting hot. We just got done watching the Clemson Miami game. Pretty good ball game. I guess the first question I have is that what college basketball has evolved to? All I saw were 3-pointers from one end to the other. The fast breaks, Donnie, I'm a little bit older than you, but I remember when I played, if it was a fast break, we're looking to pass, dribble, layup, take the two. Now these guys are fucking throwing it out there to the 3-point line instead of taking the layup, shooting threes back and forth. I mean, it's nothing but offense. Steph Curry's type of stuff. Kyle, I'll start with you, man. Is this what y'all are doing to basketball nowadays? You running the motion offense and getting it out there and shooting a three? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, really, it all depends on the team that you're watching, to be fair. When you see Miami play, I mean, that's how Miami plays. They're out and they're running, they're fast breaking, they're shooting threes. But if you'd watch Houston play here, for example, you're not going to see that. You're going to see them slow the game down. You're going to see them walk the ball up the court. You're going to see them use just about 30 seconds on that shot clock. They're going to use it just about every 30 seconds, every single time down the floor on you. And they're going to try and slow you down and wear you out that way.
I got you. Well, the reason I ask is because I know in football, we use a lot of analytics, a lot of how many times do they throw the ball, how many times do they get touches, what do they do in order to cap a football game. Donnie, this is why I love Donnie being here and you, because we're looking at two different things. Donnie, I know you're a numbers guy. I mean, it's tough for me to bet a team like Miami because all it takes is one night. They shoot 30% and we're screwed. What are you
Sure.
looking at, Donnie, as far as that goes?
No, I mean, the variance on that is just what it is. I mean, you're going to get variance on any game. You try to, look at teams that have very low variance. So if they're average 46% from the field, but their high is 58 and their low is 27, then that shows me they got a very high variance. But if they're averaging 46 and they're 40 and 52, well, I mean, then your variance is a little lower. That said, I look at games that I think are one, have good money. My algorithms are going to look at teams that have a good percentage of the bets, but more of the money than not. Then I'll look at how they're playing, strength of schedule, things like that. So last night I had 3 bets, one on the NBA, 2 on the NCAA, lost the NBA, won both NCAA. Only had one game that I picked out tonight that I really liked. That was St. Bonaventure. They are up by 8, and they were a dog. So, I look at things like that. I'm not going to bet a ton of games like I do in football, just because the data isn't there in my books yet.
I got you.
It takes, for me, at this point of the season, it's still data collection because there's and Kyle probably can talk more to this, so many in the transfer protocol, so many in NILs that are moving and changing,
Right.
so many teams that are.
Well, this is why I like the difference. I like having you and Kyle in here. Kyle, I mean, he's talking a lot of numbers, a lot of variances, a lot of things like that. You actually look at these players, you look at the coaches, you look at what they play, schedule, and all that. Talk to us a little bit about what you look at.
I mean, you kind of summed it up there. I'm looking at all the guys that transferred in, what they were averaging last year and what type of conference they were averaging it in, and then seeing how they've evolved more kind of this year. A perfect example of that would be Grant Nelson. He's a player for Alabama last year, and I believe it was the Sutherland Conference, something like that.
Southland Conference.
Southland, yep, you're
Southland,
going to
yeah.
the Southland Conference. He was averaging about 25 points per game. he's come to the SEC now, and all of a sudden his numbers have dwindled down to 13 points per game. So something like that is something that I really like to look at.
I got you. Cool.
Yeah.
Chris, are you a betting man? Are you betting on this college basketball stuff? Has Donnie pulled you in yet?
I tell you what, I am definitely betting on it, but I tell you what, this guy right here knows his stuff, and 90% of the things that I bet on, 90% of the things that I follow is what is what he tells me to follow. And he's gonna have a big hit before this follows out, but right now, I think my pick right now above everything as far as what I've been watching is Memphis. I just feel like that's.
I mean, they've got a great team. If you want a dark horse to win it all, they're not a bad one.
Yeah,
I got you.
Absolutely.
Well, don't worry about the. I'm surprised in that square that you have right here on the video screen that both of y'all fit in here with Donnie's head. But no, you're okay. You're okay, Chris. It's going to be okay. We love. I'll tell you what. I do love Donnie's take. Because we always say it. We've said it for 2 years now on the podcast. Me and Donnie and Tristan have said it. We want to be on Vegas's side. We don't want to be on Joe Blow's side. And there's different ways to do it. And Donnie does a great job of looking at the numbers, looking at line movement, reverse line movement, where the money is, where the handle is, and all that. And I mean, I trust that because Vegas never loses. They keep getting bigger and they keep building casinos. So let's move to Kyle. Hey, buddy. What are we looking at, man? What do you like? What conferences are you looking at right now, or what teams are you looking at right now? What has piqued your interest as far as the betting goes?
Betting wise, I've really liked betting against DePaul. DePaul right now is my number one team to fade. They are 3-10 against the spread this season. They're not covering barely anything. They're not covering barely anything at all. They have not played very well at all, and they just continue. I mean, I believe their last 2 games they've lost by, I believe it was 25 plus in each of them. So, I mean, they're not playing very good at all. Miami, I like Miami overs. I mean, I took it tonight. They're 10-3 this season on the over. That includes tonight. Alabama overs, again, 10-3 this season. Kentucky overs, 10-2 this season. Arizona overs are Arizona's averaging 94 points per game, and they're allowing 79 points per game. They're not playing a lick of defense whatsoever.
They are. That's the same Arizona team that beat y'all week 1, right? I'm saying y'all Duke. And they're still playing at that caliber, right? Those are grown ass men.
They've fallen off. They've fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. What conference really piques your interest right now? This is just as a fan, Kyle. What do you like watching right now? What conference is really fun to watch for you?
Big 12 basketball, man. Big 12 basketball. There's a lot of quality teams. I see Donnie's face. I see it. I
got you.
I'm loving Big 12 basketball, man. It is so much fun to watch. It's so physical. It's great.
Are they physical? Really? Because they're not physical on a fucking football team on the football field. Are they? They're really that physical, huh?
It is. It is a very physical conference, and if you don't have a tough team, then I mean you're not surviving in the Big 12.
Are you still high on BYU? Are you still high on BYU?
Oh, I love BYU.
Yeah, y'all said something like that 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. BYU is, I have this written down. They are 11-2 against the spread this year.
I got you. Well, dude, you got a couple of Big 12 teams. Kansas and Houston are ranked 2 and 3 right now. Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fluke? Is that real?
I don't think Houston's a fluke. No, I don't think Houston's a fluke at all. Houston's defense has been unreal, and Houston's defense is what's winning them games. They're only scoring around 70 points, but they're barely allowing 50 a game.
I got you. Donnie, talk to me, man. Talk to me, Donnie. You're over there.
About the teams I'm not going to talk about the teams that aren't covering. I'm going to talk about the teams that are covering. I really like Kentucky and Auburn. in this situation. I think they're both covering the spread very well. As Kyle was saying, Kentucky's what, 10-2 versus a spread or something. I mean,
10 and
that's a
2 with the
phenomenal
over.
number. Yeah, well, they're covering the spread at that too. I mean, they're really strong. I'd like Duke. I think they're covering pretty well. They've had a tougher schedule than others. Gonzaga's one that's not covering as much. You know, and they're a top team. So yeah, I mean, Tennessee, another team that's not covering the spread, 5-7, 5-7-2 versus a spread or something. You've got to look at teams that are covering right now. I mean, it's a cover game. I mean, if you want to bet money line, that's fine. I mean, we're getting into conference play. You're going to see a lot of the games have tighter lines because of conference play, but you're also going to see a lot more upsets. So don't be afraid to take a dog in these situations. Again, St. Bonaventure tonight was a prime dog, and it looks like they're going to hopefully pull this one out. I've got them on the spread and the money line.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, Donnie. I mean, you're talking about these teams that you're real high on, you know, Auburn, Kentucky, Duke, they're covering, but are we're just getting into the beginning of conference play, aren't we? And that's when shit gets real. And then you got to play on the road. And, it's just like football. It's tough to play on the road at some of these places, again, unless you go to Vanderbilt. But, it's still tough. I mean, does that still hold you back on some of this, Donnie? Or how do you look at it?
I mean, my algorithms, the stuff that I do, and I say it's an algorithm, it's really just a data spreadsheet that I just throw everything in and try to come up with the best number. I'll follow it until it proves me wrong. I mean,
Okay.
I don't bet, and I haven't posted NCAA basketball picks until this week. I posted a couple maybe 2 weeks ago, and they didn't do well, so I backed off of it. And that's just because I try to be a very smart bettor. I don't want to throw money away if I'm going to lose. I mean, there's a friend of mine said, you either think it's going to win or you think it's going to lose. And until I'm confident it's going to win and put my money behind it, I'm going to bet it. So, I've made maybe a handful of bets in basketball and NBA and NCAA. And, this week my results are starting to turn. So yeah, I mean, I tried to have like 4 winning days before I started posting them.
Yeah.
And when I say winning, I'm capping hundreds of games a day and checking to see where they're at and seeing where those numbers are. If you follow us in the Discord, you'll see that I've posted these before. I have an EV number. When the AV number gets to over 2, I'm supposed to bet it. So if that number's not hitting at 2 and it's only hitting at 2.5, then I'll change that out. So yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I want to be very confident. And I think that as conference play comes into effect, you're going to see a lot more games tighten up a little bit, but that gives us great opportunities for underdogs like tonight.
I gotcha.
It's never bad to have an underdog and get positive money.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I want to remind everybody this is Coach's Call on Tap. This is our weekly Chalk Talk tonight. We are covering some college basketball. Make sure you like, comment, and share down there. We're trying to grow the community. And if you really want to know what these guys are betting on, because we're not going to give a lot of them here, you got to go to the Discord. Daily, go on the Discord. Man, we've got not only Donnie, not only Kyle, but we've got Carson in there. He's hot. Irish in there. He's hot. We got SD Perry now. We got a bunch of these guys. JG Pack is hot. We got a bunch of guys that are really doing a great job for us. So make sure you go down, hit the Discord. It doesn't cost you anything. We're not going to ask you for any money. We make our own fucking money. Just come on in, have some good time, have a good time with us, and check us out. Keep this going. Keep this growing. We want to get to 1,000 as fast as we can. So like, comment, and share. We appreciate you. Guys, before we go on to some picks for the next week, Kyle, just give me your thought. Give me what you're thinking about right now, what you're excited about next week, what you're looking forward to.
I'm really excited about these games this weekend. This is so far, college football is slowly moving out. We got one more game left, national championship. Well, I guess if you count FCS, we got 2 more games left technically, if you count the FCS.
Yes.
But it's slowly moving out, and college basketball is slowly taking over. And it's a big, big, big Saturday in college basketball this weekend. There's great games all day long in college basketball, and I'm excited to bet some of these this weekend, which we'll get into here in a little bit.
All righty, sounds good. Donnie, before we move on, make sure you guys go to the Discord because Donnie does post his plays. He posts them early. He posts a bunch of them. You don't have to throw your own bankroll on there, but pick and choose. Make sure you follow Donnie Betts on Discord. Donnie, what are you looking forward to? What are you looking at this as we come up on this coming weekend and this coming week?
Well, I know Chris has got one for tomorrow.
Yep, absolutely. Following Memphis tomorrow over Tulsa, 100%. That is going to be your for sure bet. And I tell you what, I'm that's what I'm staking mine on.
I got you.
Okay, I'm going to actually go with Kentucky, Auburn, and Tennessee this weekend. I think those are all Saturday games.
Yeah.
Aren't
my Aggies going to Auburn?
No.
No.
Auburn's at Arkansas.
Okay. Auburn, Arkansas. That's right.
No, they're playing Arkansas.
I got you.
Kentucky's playing Florida. If you want to go North Carolina as a dog coming into Clemson, that's not a bad one. But Tennessee's playing Ole Miss. It'll be a very competitive game, but the line should be pretty low, so you can probably get in on the money line on that. And then Auburn is playing Arkansas. So they're going to Arkansas. Right now, the line's kind of in that mid 3.5, 4 range, but I expect it to probably come down because Arkansas is at home. That said, depends on where money goes. If the money comes in, goes up, 3.5 is not a bad number right now. So
yeah, that's why you guys got to come join the Discord. That's why you guys got to come join the Discord, because we've got, from now until next week, we've got a bunch of ball games, and there's going to be some changes, line movements and stuff like that we're going to pick up on that we'll be able to bet. Kyle, what are some of your big plays coming up this weekend or this week, buddy?
Tomorrow night, Colorado is playing at Arizona. Arizona just lost to Stanford by a pretty bad Stanford team by 18, and Colorado's playing really good basketball right now. The line's at 11, minus 11 right now for Arizona. I really like Colorado to cover this. I think Colorado's a very good basketball team, and I get it is on the road in Arizona, but number one, students are off. They're not going to be there. They're not going to be there. It's just going to be regular crowd there. I really think Colorado can cover this 11 points tomorrow with the way Arizona's starting to play basketball right now.
Okay. Anything else?
I like
Yes.
that pick. I think Colorado's a great dog in that situation. Again, you're talking about conference play. They're always tight in conference play. Might even be a good money line pick.
All right.
Next game, I'm opposite of Donnie on this one. I love Florida this Saturday. I love Florida this Saturday on their home floor against Kentucky. Kentucky, I believe this is Kentucky's first SEC conference game of the season, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they played a conference game yet. I think this is a game where these freshmen are going to see, like, hey, this is the SEC. Florida's not a bad basketball team. And I think this is going to trip up Kentucky on the road, and I think Florida's going to get this one done by very, very little. Very, very little. Kentucky's going to make it a game, but I think Florida wins this one by like 2.
I got you.
And I
do get it. I understand that. I mean, it's going to be a good game, but I think the big thing is like this Kentucky team's already battle tested. I mean, they beat UNC, they went to Louisville, and you can't tell me Louisville's going to be a less hostile environment than Florida is.
Right.
I mean, that place is all day long. So I get what he's saying.
I got you. All right, Kyle, go ahead.
I'm on this game. I wasn't on this game earlier, but because of an injury to Providence's best player this evening, and it did not look very pretty. It was a leg injury, but Providence at Creighton this weekend. I really like Creighton to win this one now. I don't see why Creighton can't pull off a win on their home floor against Providence now that Hopkins potentially, it looked like he tore his ACL. Now that their best player's out.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I don't believe the line came out for this one yet. At least I didn't see one. But as long as it's not like anything crazy, like double digits, I think Creighton can really get this one done.
Well, you were high on Creighton early, weren't you?
I was high on Creighton early. They kind of fell off. I don't want to. Well, they didn't fall off, but they kind of slid down my radar. They started to play kind of iffy.
Yeah.
They weren't covering, and then they weren't hitting the overs anymore either. So I kind of started to go away from Creighton.
Yeah. Well, good
This
coaches
weekend
coach
looks like a
and
great
great
spot.
coaches cover. And all I want to do is win some money. All right, you got any more for us? We got Colorado, Florida, Creighton. You got any more, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm gonna ride Irish. I'm gonna ride Irish on this one. Texas Tech versus Texas. I think like I said, I told him this. I think Texas is gonna win the game, but Texas Tech, I do think they can cover this one on the road. I really like them as well. And then my final one here is going to be a Mountain West game. It's Colorado State versus Utah State. Colorado State is coming off a huge win versus New Mexico. They head on the road to Utah State, and I think this is a perfect letdown spot for Colorado State. I think Utah State
Oh,
is going to
shit.
win this one also.
Oh, wow. Look at you. A little letdown spot. I like that. I didn't think those happened in basketball. I love that shit.
For sure.
All right. So we've got, I know I'm betting Memphis. I know I'm betting Colorado. I'm going to stay away from Kentucky and Florida because you two fucks are confusing the shit out of me on that one.
Just take the over. Play safe. Take the over.
I like Texas Tech. I saw Irish. Irish was on this summit. He's been on it for a day and a half or something. He really likes that. And the letdown spot. You know what? I'm always all about the letdown spot. Me and Donnie talk about shit like that on our football podcast, especially in college. The hangovers, the letdowns, and stuff like that. I love that. So I'm looking at Memphis, Colorado, Texas Tech, and Utah State. But if you want the good shit, you got to join the Discord. If you're listening to this, go to the Discord. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to type anything. You don't have to say anything. You could just be a troll and just listen and just read. And if you like it, you like
We
it.
have a lot of trolls in the Discord.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
you don't have to join. You don't have to do anything. But when we win, it's cool. If we lose, don't talk shit. We're not asking for your money. We're asking you to have fun. We're trying to help you if you'll let us. All right, one last. I'm gonna give each of y'all about 2 minutes to speak your piece. Donnie, you got anything left to say to everybody before you sign off?
Man, it's like one thing that you've already said is join the Discord. I mean, we're going to post our picks there. The big thing that I can tell you, I mean, we're talking college basketball and right here, right now. But guess what starts this week? What started?
What's that?
Tennis, my man. Tennis.
Oh, jeez. I
Tennis
promised
started this
you guys. I
How
promised
do you
Tristan.
not know tennis started?
I promised Tristan that I was gonna start watching tennis more and start betting with you guys. But I'm gonna be like
I know
you,
you
Chris.
did. So
I'm gonna be
tennis
like
started
you,
this
Chris.
week.
I'm
You
just
gotta
gonna
join the Discord.
tail. All right. Well, let's join the
I
Discord.
mean, here's
Kyle.
the kicker.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
I
Donnie.
can't say nothing about his tennis picks. They've been pretty dead on.
I was going to say tennis started this week. I'm not betting the first week of tennis. I would have taken 3 losers already. So yeah, I'm not betting tennis, but it'll probably start next week.
All righty. Kyle, give me 2 or 3 minutes. What you got left, brother? What do you want to tell everybody?
I mean, I could mention some mid majors here real quick if you'd like.
Yeah.
Gotta love some mid majors here. Princeton and Grand Canyon, my top 2, other than
Yes.
James Madison, who is still undefeated,
Yeah.
and Colorado State. Those are probably my top 2 mid-major schools that are not in the top 25 rankings that you definitely need to be keeping an eye on. Grand Canyon is 12-1 on the season. Princeton is also 12-1 on the season, and they're covering like crazy. Both
Yeah.
teams are covering like crazy.
We'll keep an eye on Colorado State, just not against Utah State because
Correct.
of the letdown.
Correct.
Guys, thank you guys for being here. Kyle, thank you in Pennsylvania.
Hey,
Donnie, Chris, thank you guys in Tennessee. Yeah, go ahead, Donnie.
Hey, I was going to say, remember, fade Ooey Pooey. That's your favorite team, right?
Yes, yeah. EU Puiu, or whatever the hell you call it. Yeah, we've always
Hey,
been
they're still got a negative record versus the spread. So keep fading Ooey Pooey.
I love it. Last year we were betting their unders because they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. But
Man, that was so money last year, wasn't it?
Let's do it, guys. Thank you for being on. Remember, if you're listening, please like, comment, share. We're trying to grow the community. Make sure you go into the Discord. Go to the Discord. We've got all the threads. You like hockey? We got hockey. You got tennis? We got tennis. You like soccer? We got some soccer dudes in there. Basketball, football. The NFL's still going strong. We're going to have a big prop betting weekend in the NFL this week because we've got guys that are playing for their bonus checks. So we're going to hit a lot of prop bets. Make sure you go in the Discord. Go in the Discord, make you some freaking money. I want to thank you. This is your coach. Coach's Call on tap. This is our Chalk Talk College Basketball Edition. Until later, I hope all your tickets cash, and we'll see you next time. Adios, folks.